Ladies and gentlemen, we are live once again. It is Tuesday, and it's time for another live edition of the Raw Rundown here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up. Hit that share button, and as well hit that bell notification so you're notified whenever we go live every single day here on the channel. It is Tuesday, February the 18th, 2025. As always, I am Steve. I'm here joined by the good brother from beautiful, sunny California, the one, the only Chase Oliver. Chase, how are you, brother?
Not good, Steve. My dog Braun Strowman is not going to the Elimination Chamber. He
I
wasn't
was
featured on.
going to bring that up later, but
He's
it's
not.
fine.
He's not featured on SmackDown. It's like, what is my one big SOB going to be doing? Monday, I celebrated President's Day to my United States Women's Champion, Chelsea Green, my president. I don't know. People say Donald Trump's the president. Chelsea Green's my president, but I was still sad that Braun Strowman didn't make it through. Now it's like Cody. He has to face like either these guys like Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, who won last night, or Damian Priest. Like this ain't like just imagine the big SOB in there, bro. Like who's stopping him out of all these guys, man? It's like
the Maverick. Come on now, the Maverick stopping him. Come on, man, the Maverick.
Yeah, right.
Which I want to say real quick, bro. How dare you, Tiffany Stratton? How dare you cancel on Logan Paul and being on Impulsive today? Darn you. I hope Charlotte Flair, you know what? When she does the moonsault, right? That bootleg moonsault at WrestleMania, I hope Charlotte kicks up right after. No sells it. That's what I hope happens at WrestleMania. That's what I do hope. How dare she turn down an appearance on Impulsive that could do so much for her career? She doesn't even know. How dare she? And honestly, some would even say, how dare Ludwig Kaiser? But you know what? It is what it is. His day is coming. Can we please have a moment of silence for Finn Balor? His career is officially buried. Amen.
He's a good mid-carder.
It's a good mid-carder. He's not buried, man. He's in the mix. He's still there. Real soon. Chase, don't worry. He's returning back to his natural self. Yo,
the Damon.
The Damon King's returning. We have Chief in the chat. No lie, Raw was a dud last night. Yeah, I thought it was average, to be honest.
This felt like the most nothing episode I've watched in quite some time from Raw. Like it was just like the matches were good, but you knew who was going to win most of them. And then like there was only like one storyline progression for WrestleMania, and barely any minimal for Elimination Chamber. There's like just the main event and the opening segment. Yeah, the show just felt like a chore to watch. This past Monday, it didn't feel like enjoyable and stuff. Like I was fast forwarding during most of it when I was behind because I got off work late, so I was behind. And then I fast forward through most of it just to catch the important parts. And then when I rewatched it this morning, I was just like, yeah, this show wasn't really the best. It just felt like a nothing episode. It just felt like good matches. That was it, but nothing.
I'll say this: substance. It went by fast for me, at least. It flew by. There's a moment in the show I'm like, holy shit, it's already 10 o'clock. Fuck. And in this show, we still got the main event. Okay. But I kind of get what you're saying. It felt like nothing really, just one story progressed. And outside of that, like you forget that, holy shit, Chambers next week. Like, time is flying by, bro. And soon enough, we'll be in Vegas. WrestleMania and all that stuff. But chime in the chat, too, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw. What did you like? What did you not like? And all that fun stuff. But before we get into anything, before we get into the Raw review, I must continue now the tradition. I got the weekly thing now. Got to test out a new Prime. Yeah, I got a new Prime today, guys. Meta Moon, also factor in. I'm a little thirsty. So I think it's important that so here we go.
All the electrolytes that Prime brings you, the best sports drink
Meta
on the market.
Moon. Should I do first the smell test just to see?
No, you don't have to smell test it.
Okay, here we go. I mean, it's not strawberry banana, but it's passable. It's a passable flavor. It tastes like that medicine with the good flavor. Like it has like that banging flavor. Like wow, that's what it feels like. Very fancy drinker, Steve, with the pinky top. Yeah, with the pinky up. Yeah, what can I say? Do you think at this point Triple H might be depending too much on the Seth Rollins, Penta, and Jey Uso, and that's it?
Does he really depend on those guys a lot? Like, I don't know. Like,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think he just kind of puts them in matches, but I don't think he depends on them just per se. So
Yeah. So Raw last night was live from Charlotte, North Carolina. I think, yeah, it was live from North Carolina. Again, overall, I thought Raw was, average. Could have been better, obviously, but it opened up with Sami Zayn. Now, if you can recall, right, there have been these videos back and forth from Sami and Kevin Owens, where if you recall, Sami Zayn has said, hey, his neck is messed up, but he will be at Chamber. He wants to fight Kevin Owens, right? Forgiveness, all that's left behind. Like he just wants to fight him. And being that they both want this is in Canada, being that it's Chamber coming up. And we've been hinted at this idea that, hey, it's unsanctioned, right? It's going to happen unsanctioned. And my bad. Sami Zayn comes out and he just wants this match. Like I mentioned, right? He wants this match. Adam Pearce doesn't want to give it to him. Like a part of him wants to, right? But he can't. He can't give it to him, right? And it's also been noted that Sami Zayn went to SmackDown to talk to Nick Aldis about this, and he told him no. Now Adam Pearce is telling him no, and Sami had to use old reliable. How long have you known me and Kevin? For more than 20 plus years. You know about our history and all that stuff, and you know that I can fight. I can fight. I can go at the end of the day. And all this led to Adam Pearce saying, you know what? You want this? Fine. It's not official. It's unsanctioned. Which is now official. And here's the thing, too. Like, it's crazy. Like, they got a graphic, too, for an unsanctioned match. But be that as it may, I would have waited another week. I would have milked this a little longer. Because last time I checked, Kevin Owens on SmackDown, right? So you're telling me that Adam Pearce can choose a match for the SmackDown talent? Last time I checked, the transfer portal has been shut down, right? Kevin Owens can't show up to Raw anymore. So what are we doing here? I would have at least waited another week just to build some excitement, some drama, right? And then maybe had to go to SmackDown where, Adam Pearce talks to Nick Aldis about this, works something out, and then make it official. But that's just me. Chase, what about you?
Yeah, they could have delayed this, but I think they just wanted to get, the match somewhat announced. It's only a week away, build up more tension, have Kevin Owens can be a dick on SmackDown about it. I'm fine with it. Good Sami promo. It's just, it was funny. Someone brought up, Randy Orton's been out for months, but Sami Zayn comes back like 2 weeks later from this package pile driver. And I understand why they made it unsanctioned, gives it a little bit of leeway if they decide to audible instead of having Kevin Owens face Randy Orton. Sami Zayn looks like he's on a collision course with Karrion Kross at WrestleMania. You have it where they could face each other again at Mania. So I think it's a safe match that they're going to do, which is not like what they're going to perform in the ring, but I think it's safe. Like it's safe booking for the most part. Like we've seen Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens wrestle like a cajillion times. So the novelty is just not there anymore. Like I'm not hyped for it. It's not like the first time. It's not like when they got to wrestle at WrestleMania. It's just, okay, cool. You guys are feuding again for the up to time. Like we get it. Move on.
At this point, they're just playing the hits. Like this is what fans want from us, and that's it. We're not gonna go crazy like we used to. So
there's so many fans that were like upset that they're doing this at Elimination Chamber, not at WrestleMania. It's like, guys, like stop acting like you guys were in the trenches like stop acting like you were in the trenches during the ROH days. Like some of these accounts, I'm just like, bro, like you were not watching that long. You guys just heard the stories of how great this rivalry was, the ladder war match and everything. I was in the trenches. I was watching that shit. I was the one supporting Eddie
Me
Edwards
too.
when he was Ring of Honor champion around that time. So don't come at me and tell me that like, oh, you weren't in the trenches, Chase. No, I've seen this. I saw this. When it was happening on NXT, I told people, yeah, I'm not really that excited because it's going to be the WWE version of it. Yeah, it's going to be a good match, but it's going to be the WWE style. It's not going to be this Ring of Honor style people are used to. And yeah, that's what they did when they had their first match. The WrestleMania match was subpar at best. Heck, it's more remembered for Logan Paul than really them themselves. So yeah, I'll just say like it's whatever. Fine.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Exactly. And again, also factor it's in Canada too. So they're gonna get a reaction, be that as it may. So if anyone that's complaining about it, just chill. Just chill for real. After this, we got the opening match of the night. We did have AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio, who early in the night was seated in the clubhouse with the Judgment Day. And Carlito's asking for someone's credit card so he can buy the DLC for 2K25. So that was funny for the most part. But there's still that friction. There's still that tension between Dom and Finn Balor, right? About Dom wanting to bring in a new member to the Judgment Day. And Finn doesn't want to hear anything about it. All he wants to do is win against Seth Rollins in the main event later on in the night, but no new member. But we get to the match, that is, right? We get to the match of Dom and AJ Styles, and it was fine for the most part. Of course, you did have Carlito do the interference to no avail, right? AJ did pick up the win, but then after this, we saw Braun Breaker, the Intercontinental Champion, trying to spear AJ Styles. Like he was ready to go, right? Yeah, Michael Cole telling AJ, turn around, be careful. And as this is happening, you see Dominic, in the view, right behind Styles. And AJ just ducks out of the way, and Braun Breaker spears Dominic Mysterio. And then obviously, there was that, and AJ escaped from it. But also potentially teasing, because I know Braun Breaker did say that he would love to face either Jacob Fatu or AJ Styles at WrestleMania. So could we see that? Maybe so. From the looks of it, they're trying to plant the seeds for it. But for the most part, it's good to see AJ back. Nevertheless, Chase, your thoughts.
Yeah, Dom's like the best worker that you can get to wrestle when these guys are coming back from injury. I mean, or coming back just in general. CM Punk, who did he face at live events? Dominic Mysterio. A couple other wrestlers, when they've come back, they face Dom Mysterio. It's fine. It's harmless match. AJ looks good. More for AJ Styles than anything else. But I like the Braun Breaker and AJ Styles build up. That's very interesting. I don't know when their match will take place. I don't think they really do not have like a long, like they can't push this to WrestleMania. We have 8 more episodes of Raw. So I think this will start the build up for whatever multi-man match they want to do at WrestleMania. That'll feature both of these individuals. Like I think that's where we're headed at WrestleMania for sure. But I like the AJ and Braun stuff. It was good. AJ and Dom, just a solid match. Like basic TV match, pretty much.
For sure. Romeo asked here, got any suggestions for a new member of Judgment Day?
I don't know. They kind of need like a heavy. Like I feel like they need someone that's like a heavy and stuff. But who do they like that's like a heavy right now? Like a Ridge Holland or Eddie Thorpe. Those are the only 2 guys that really come to mind of like, oh, these guys are heavies that would work inside of the Judgment Day. That's the only people I can think of.
I can see Eddie Thorpe. I know there's some people who are saying, people saying, Aleister Black, which even, Peter asked, you see Malachi Black replacing Finn in Judgment Day. You think, I don't know, do you really think like Aleister Black or Malachi Black, whatever you want to refer to, Tommy End wants to run another group after having another group already prior, and how did that turn out? I don't know. I think honestly, when he returns, he just wants to do singles. So
I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine in the group. I mean, Judgment Day needs like a leader, and maybe they want a leader that's not as vocal. And Aleister Black, it's not like he's going to be talking when he comes back. So I think he would be fine as the leader of Judgment Day. That would be a good transition, but I don't see it like right off the rip. Like it will be built up, obviously, that he becomes a leader.
For sure. From there, well, we did get we see like a backstage confrontation between Dakota Kai and Ivy Nile because they do have a match, right, to determine who would face Ivy Nile. We had Dakota Kai, Ivy Nile. So we had a confrontation to see the match, and the winner would face Lyra Valkyria next week for the Intercontinental title. And the match, for what it was an okay match for the most part, right? It's crazy because for the last couple of weeks, they've been building Ivy Nile, right, to be the next challenger for Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And, there's some people who are suggesting that, the Women's IC title right now, this is not it right now. Like, Lyra she won the tournament, and then she lost in the chamber qualifications, right? It just hasn't been the same. It's just not really, it's not vibing for a lot of people. And you had Lyra sitting at ringside for this match. And again, they've been building up for, Ivy Nile and Lyra for the Intercontinental Championship. And then they decide, you know what? No, we're going to run back the rematch from the finals in Dakota Kai and Lyra Valkyria. So that is happening. Get the graphic up here next week on Monday Night Raw. For overall, the match was there. Chase, your thoughts.
Yeah, this match was kind of whatever. I don't understand building up Ivy Nile just to lose. Dakota Kai did not even sell the ankle like at all. Like she was just like she was selling it when she was in an ankle lock, but then like finished with the same kick and everything. And then after the match, she's holding her shoulder. But it's like Ivy Nile was mostly focusing on your ankle. Shouldn't you be limping a little bit? But I wonder if this is Triple H correcting a mistake maybe for next week. Maybe if he decides like, oh yeah, I messed up. Should have given it to Dakota Kai in the first place. Yeah, like this could be where Triple H corrects a mistake here. It says we'll give it to Dakota Kai instead of keeping Lyra Valkyria, who is very talented in the ring. It's just she doesn't have a character. She has literally no character. Mic skills are just very non-existent. It's just one of those things with Lyra Valkyria. She hasn't found a way to connect or get to the fans to really care about her. And as the champion, she should really be trying to push for matches on television, but she's not really pushing for these matches. Like she's just seems like she checks in the building, she's fine, she's cool with whatever. While Dakota Kai, she's probably knocking on the door every week, asking for a match, doing something. And that's the one thing that a lot of wrestlers need to understand. It's not just like what you do on TV, it's also like the behind the scenes work. And Dakota Kai seems like a way more proactive person right now, just in general, than like a Lyra Valkyria. Like I could understand. Yes, she has her injury concerns. Like you have to worry about like, oh, if she suffers a huge bump, will she be out for a significant amount of time? But honestly, if she was champion and then when she got injured, I don't think you would have missed anything really, to be honest. But yeah, I would have to say that this Lyra Valkyria run isn't good. And then the fact that they had to give her like she can't even like, and that's the one thing about when you're IC champion. Sometimes you're the champion because you can help other wrestlers get better when you wrestle them.
Yeah.
So you're telling me you don't trust Lyra Valkyria to elevate Ivy Nile. That's what you're telling me by not having Ivy Nile win this match. Is that Ivy Nile, yeah, we like her, but we don't trust in Lyra Valkyria's level of wrestling to help elevate Ivy Nile into being a solid mid-carder. So it's just, to me, Lyra Valkyria, like, very good in the ring. Like, don't get me wrong, she's very good, but there's something missing. And I just think that this IC title run, it's been a flop. It's kind of like the UFC, like, strawweight championship. Like, cool, Carla Esparza won it. Joanna won it. Everyone thinks she's the first champion ever when she wasn't. She's the second champion ever. Yeah, let's correct this mistake. I would correct the mistake, but knowing Triple H is just going to have Lyra win in a very good competitive match. And this is why she's a champion. And then she'll do what she's been doing, just not defending the belt or not being featured on TV properly. And people are hoping and praying for a Becky Lynch match that will probably not happen this year. And if it does happen, good for Lyra Valkyria. But ultimately, that's what you're banking on, is for a big match for Lyra to happen. But Lyra, you're the champion. You got to help elevate other people. Like, yes, there's sometimes they'll give the IC title or the North American Championship to the unproven prospect, Oba Femi, Braun Breaker, because they want it where they can wrestle these guys and get better and just get a championship run out of them. But there's also the IC champions. You give it to them because you're like, oh, Dolph Ziggler. We know you can wrestle good with everyone. You know you have good chemistry with everyone. We know that you can elevate a Luke Harper into a good mid-card wrestler. So that's why we're having you wrestle him. But yeah, so not everyone's meant to hold like that workhorse title or the mid-card title. And I think Lyra, her reign's been a miss, but yeah, Lyra versus Dakota, sure. Should be fine.
Should be fine match for sure. Romeo suggests here on a new member for the Judgment Day, Rusev.
Yeah, Rusev would be good. Would sell merchandise too.
Exactly.
And it's already Judgment Day, Rusev Day. You have Rusev Day with the Judgment Day. Sure, I like it.
For sure, absolutely. Venom writes here. So is Roxanne Perez part of the main roster now? Hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing good. Chase is doing good as well. Hope you're doing well too, Venom.
We don't know.
But yeah, I mean,
they don't tell.
We don't.
The
first part,
main roster, the draft, like yes, whatever you know, it's all lost in the shuffle. Like she's just yeah, like we don't know.
Time will tell. I mean, we haven't heard a report yet. No official. Hey, per so and so, she's officially part of the main roster. Nothing yet, but one would believe, right? But for all we know, she might show up tonight on NXT. She'll show up tonight, and it's like, oh, what the heck,
Well, she probably is. That's what I'm saying. We don't know if she's really a part of the main roster. She's been wrestling, or she's in a feud with someone on the main roster. But it just seems like if you're in NXT, you can kind of just bounce around.
Yeah, for sure. From there, we saw. I almost said Rusev here. We saw Gunther, who was at a different location. He decided to see what the whole yeet thing's all about, right? How Jey Uso would come down to the ring. He would, he would literally go through the crowd, right? And everybody would be eating it up and all that stuff. And he decided to, take a page and see what it's like. And he's cutting this promo, just going off on Jey Uso and the fan base as well, right? I think he even quoted something about Zack Sabre Jr. once said, explaining technical wrestling to American fan is basically like reading Shakespeare to a dog, something in those words. And he gets to the ring, and then he decides to confront Pat McAfee and Michael Cole, and he wants to know, do they think that Jey Uso has a chance at beating Gunther at WrestleMania? And it looked like Pat McAfee. I don't know, but he looked nervous for a minute there, right? It's like he was waiting to hear what they wanted him to say in his earpiece. Right? You could just tell he was paused there for a minute while Gunther was talking. And then he got his word. All right, do I think it looked like he was gonna say yeet? That he thinks that Jey Uso has a chance of beating Gunther. But then obviously Jey Uso showed up and they started brawling. But that was basically it. I mean, again, the story is, does Jey Uso have a chance? I think anyone has a chance, right? For sure. But time will tell. But Chase, your thoughts on the segment and all that stuff that happened.
This was tremendous. Gunther's promo was great. Jay's fiery battle was great. Like I really like this segment. My only concern is like, bro, like WrestleMania is not until middle of April. We still got like 8 more episodes of Raw to go. Like they've already had like
something in the middle. We need something.
Well, it's not that. It's just like you're doing like all this, and I would think WrestleMania is like next Sunday or something. I'm like, oh, okay, we're getting there, but we still have 8 episodes. Like, how much more are we going to get from these guys? Like, that's the thing. Like, it's just like they're booking it really, really fast, and so it'll be very interesting to see like how they handle it. And I don't trust them to really give like this really great attention to Jay and Gunther once they start building up all the other mid-card matches on Raw. So yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm like, man, they're just going way too fast with this booking and stuff. Like from Jay announcing who he wanted to face at WrestleMania to now this, where it's like this felt like this segment that they did felt like, hey, this is what you do 2 weeks out before WrestleMania. Gunther comes out and he does what goes through the crowd and everything like that. But instead, it's like, hey, we're still 8 weeks out. But it was a tremendous segment. Really liked it. Thought it did its job. But yeah, it's like we still got a lot of time, guys.
You know what they can do? You know what they can do next week, Chase, or 2 weeks from now? A contract signing. That's what we need for this feud.
That'd be so useless. That'd be so useless. A contract signing for what? Like, unless they're going to do a stipulation match. Like, I don't know if they can add a stipulation. To be honest, I wouldn't add a stipulation to this. Like, I mean, I guess Jay and Gunther could be in a stipulation match because
if Gunther wins, Jay can't challenge him for the title as long as he's champion. But I mean, that
would make it way too obvious that Jay's winning. Like, no, I'm talking about like a cage or something like that. Like, they could do something like that because of the fact that Jay and Gunther happened at Saturday Night's main event. They happened for the Intercontinental title a year ago, so they have the history there. So,
of course, they do. Hear that alone, Chase. I thought WrestleMania was in a week.
Yeah, this segment felt like 2 weeks away from Mania. Let's rehot that feud, and then later on it was like, oh man.
If Gunther truly deserves his flower when it comes to his promos, if Gunther wins, Jay can no longer yeet.
That would make it way too. You would make Jay Uso like you would say Jay Uso's winning 100%. You think WWE is gonna not have the yeet shirt still? Like, get out of here. That would make it so obvious Jay Uso is winning the match.
Oh, of course, dude. Absolutely.
You don't want it where Jay and Gunther is obvious. You want it where it's like you can believe Gunther can still beat Jay Uso. That's the whole point of this match, is that you want it where you believe Gunther is going to win still. Like, you want that doubt still in your head. Adding stipulations like that would just say, yeah, Jay's winning. Like, what's the point of even having the match? Just have Jay Uso come out, hit 3 super kicks, his shitty spear, and then his Uso splash 1, 2, 3. Why even do a full epic drama match if Jey Uso's gonna not be able to yeet anymore? Like, that'd be way too obvious.
Oh, of course, it would be way too obvious. And at the end of the day, again, they're gonna still want to capitalize on the yeet. You're gonna ask WWE to not capitalize? No, they are. They are. From there, we did see Kathy Kelly confronting both Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, because if you remember on SmackDown, Nick Aldis did say to Bianca and Naomi that there's footage on the day that Jade Cargill got attacked. And it just so happens in that footage that was poorly recorded, it looked like off the phone, whatever it was, you see Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. So in the tag team champs' mind, it was them two. Now, Kathy Kelly wanted to know, hey, was it true? What's going on? And they're denying it. They didn't do anything. Right, and that basically Raquel is going to beat Roxanne Perez, squash her later on in the night. So what's Penta's story for WrestleMania? He just feuding with Tiffany's boyfriend and Pete Dunne? I think for now, I mean,
these are just filler feuds. Like, they're just waiting until, like, honestly, Elimination Chamber, that's when the road to WrestleMania will ramp up after Elimination Chamber. They obviously just don't want Penta to be in a situation where he can lose right now. They want to keep Penta as strong as possible. So you feed him the fodder, the Chad Gables, the Pete Dunnes, the Lower Kaisers of the world that will lose to him, but also like can beat him if needed. Like, it's not like the worst case scenario for Penta, but yeah, it seems like he will probably be in the multi-man ice match that they're probably going to do at Mania.
Or the Andre Battle Royal at WrestleMania SmackDown, or you never know. Just never know. But we did get Penta versus Pete Dunne, right? 1-on-1. Ludwig Kaiser at ringside as well. The match, for the most part, it was fine. Like, you see them wrestle already, so you kind of know what to expect. What I did like, again, they're not making it easy for Penta. Yes, he's winning, but they're making it like, all right, he has to fight for it, fight for these wins. You have Pete Dunne work on the fingers, and of course, Penta's selling has been, been very, very top notch, I would say. But when it's all said and done, Penta with that Penta driver got the 1, 2, 3, and then you saw Ludwig try to get the attack. Pete Dunne gets involved too. They're brawling, and then Penta does a dive to the outside on both guys, and that's how he closed it. But Chase, your thoughts on the match and all that stuff that happened?
We've seen it already. It's a good match. It's just like, yeah, it's just that we've seen it already. I don't know what else to really add to this. It's just Penta winning a match that was very predictable that he was going to win. So, like, look, for me, like, I'm cool with good matches. Like, I have no problem with the match is good. It's just like I need to have like the unpredictability of like, oh yeah, Pete Dunne could win. There's no chance Pete Dunne was ever going to win this match. So I was just sitting there like, yeah, they're doing good. Penta wins. Cool.
Oh, for sure.
Keep Penta strong, I guess. Yeah, that's fine.
Exactly. Some people even suggested, hey, you know, have him and Ray team up at WrestleMania. I mean,
no, thank you. Get him out. No Rey Mysterio Vortex.
Yeah. But from there, again, they had Jey Uso interviewed by Kathy Kelly, where he promised that he'll be good at WrestleMania, and then they showed footage from Bayley competing at the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game on Friday as well. But then we got to the next match. We had the first elimination qualifier match of the night: Roxanne Perez versus Raquel Rodriguez. You would think on paper, oh, this is a mismatch, right? Just based off their heights and all that stuff. And for the most part, I thought they told the story there. Hey, you know what? Raquel had to overcome this adversity, right? Roxanne had to overcome this adversity in Raquel, right? For the most part. And she had her moments. And when she had her moments, she capitalized. And look, it looked like Raquel was going to win this match, right? And then Bianca and Naomi showed up and they interfered and they caused a distraction on the outside. And that's how Roxanne Perez got the opportunity to get the win over Raquel Rodriguez. So she advances. She goes on to the chamber. She's the last entrant in the women's chamber match. It's crazy to think, hey, she got this opportunity to qualify for the chamber because she was the women's MVP of the Iron Woman of the Royal Rumble, right? For the women's Rumble. She holds the record now, right, as we speak, right? And she had that performance, right, at Vengeance Day as well. And then here she is wrestling Raquel Rodriguez. And now she's going to chamber. Now, is it main roster call up? Time will tell. We just don't know right now. Chase, your thoughts on the match and all that stuff.
Yeah, this was a good match between these two women. Like that, they also tied in the tag team. It just kind of sucks for Liv and Raquel. They're kind of on a cold streak before a tag team title match, but that's fine, I guess. Roxanne winning's cool. I'm just more interested the way they've been presenting Roxanne, just how she's been featured. I'm like, in my head, I'm all like, could she be like a dark horse favorite to win this elimination chamber match? Because they're pushing her pretty freaking heavy, and they're pushing her heavy. I mean, heavy with the video package, everything. Like all the other women, it just seems like they're kind of tied up in other things. If you look at all the other women in elimination chamber, Liv is tied up with like the Judgment Day stuff going on, and then plus the women's tag. Bianca and Naomi, they seem tied up with whatever's going on with Jade. And do you really want to do Bianca versus Rhea, knowing that, like Jade Cargill could come back, and if we want Bianca in a match, we trust Bianca to carry Jade to a good match at WrestleMania. So it's like, okay, Bianca and Jade. And then the other two women, Alexa Bliss, like, yeah, she got the good pop at the Royal Rumble, but do you really think that she is going to be like, oh, okay, Alexa Bliss, like, let's have her face Rhea Ripley right now? No, not really. And it seems like Alexa Bliss, if she's going to be doing anything, it might be whatever the White Six is going to be doing. And then, did I name all the women? Am I missing one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Who am I missing? I'm missing one of them. I'm missing one other person in this equation.
Say Bayley.
Bayley? Yeah, I mean, Bayley's tied to Roxanne, so I guess, but
I can see Roxanne eliminating Bayley out of the chamber. I can see that.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like Roxanne being a dark horse to win it, it's not that crazy, and especially because they're pushing hard with this whole NXT building future. I could see it. Roxanne and Rhea. Like, I know everyone's gonna be like, that's a crazy. Like, look, Rhea and Bianca deserves like more of like, hey, if you're gonna do that match, you just don't do it because it's like we have nothing else for Rhea, we have nothing else for Bianca. boom, both their star powers will fix it because it's at WrestleMania. And plus, if that's going to happen at WrestleMania, and we know how women's wrestling Twitter gets, they're going to be pissed. PISSED, pissed. This is not in the main event of one of the 2 nights at WrestleMania. Can you make an argument, Rhea versus Bianca? A legit argument. I am being dead honest when I tell this to people. A legit argument that Rhea versus Bianca going in because Bianca won a chamber when Bianca's just been in a tag team scene and a whodunit mystery of who attacked her tag team partner, and then Rhea, who came off her hottest feud. Like, do you really think that should main event over a Jey Uso versus Gunther, over a Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins triple threat, over a John Cena Cody, over a Cody CM Punk, over a Roman Reigns versus Seth main event? Like, those matches are way more main event worthy than cold ass Rhea Bianca, like a cold sub. Like, oh, okay, yeah, here you go. Well, why is it main eventing? Well, it's Rhea Bianca. Yeah, but didn't Bianca just win a chamber match and she mostly been in a tag team? Yeah, but we heated up a little bit. Like, you just threw it in the microwave and heated up, pressed it for 3 minutes, and then bam, you expect us to like it. That's like a microwave WrestleMania main event right there. And if you have Rhea most likely winning anyways, and it's just like, we're just gonna have mommy win. Shit. Why not? Well, you see what you get with Roxanne Perez. Not to mention, we're in the West Coast, Las Vegas, a lot of Hispanics, a lot of Spanish radio that we can get airwaves on. Who's bilingual? Who can do all that media coverage for us, promoting that she's in a world title match at WrestleMania? Oh, Roxanne Perez. So I don't know. I do feel like, Roxanne, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. WWE just looks at it and says, really want to do Jade and Bianca. Let's do that instead. Bianca, please do us this favor. Get this Jade match going. We'll be happy with that. And then we'll find something else for you next year at WrestleMania. Like, wouldn't be surprised. And plus, Triple H, like, let's be real, his track record with Bianca at her time at NXT wasn't that good. So, yeah, I'm just saying, like, I won't be surprised if Roxanne Perez does win this Elimination Chamber match. Like, I think it's a much better possibility than most people will give her credit for. Because they've been pushing her heavy. Iron Woman in the Rumble, everything like that. Did Steve leave? What happened to Steve? Oh, I guess Steve froze. Dang, in the mud. All right. Let me see what you said, heel. My only question is, Cody Rhodes is the champion. So how does Roman versus Seth versus Punk main event over him? I guess make it a number. No, Cody, there's 2 nights, Weston. So they can main event one of the nights if they don't feel like Jay versus Gunther is a main event match. That's what I'm saying. That can main event. I like, and this, yeah, Steve just froze. I thought I froze on my end because my internet's not the best, but here we go here. I guess it's an old school Chase Oliver Raw review for a little bit. But yeah, so the women's elimination chamber match is all set. Looks very interesting. Am I crazy to think that Roxanne can win, guys? Please tell me. Please tell me down below if you think I'm crazy in that assumption, because I'm just looking how they're pushing her. They're pushing her to seem like she's going to be in one of the big time matches at WrestleMania. Like, you don't give that much push to someone, and it doesn't seem like they're in a big time match WrestleMania weekend. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, doesn't Bianca just feel so like forced? Like, it don't feel right. Because I really can't see betting odds right now. How do you establish a main event Jey Uso name against Gunther? Well, he's been main event Jey Uso this whole time. It's not like he been opening shows. I'm just saying, like, main event Jey Uso is like an overall name. He can main event. He's a main eventer. That's what main event Jey Uso means. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it could main event. Plus, also too, Cena's not in the best ring shape. So if you do Cody and Cena, it's not that bad. All right. I'm trying to remember what happened next on this episode of Raw. I really cannot remember off the top of my head like I used to. I gotta remember. I just know that I forgot what segments and stuff happened. All right. Pete Dunne. What the heck, dude? CBS. This guy did not even update his Raw results. What are we doing, CBS? How am I supposed to know? And WWE doesn't help. They don't put shit in order. So how am I supposed to know what's next after this? Let's go to Forbes. Forbes.com. So the New Day came out afterwards. The New Day came out in their promo segment. They pretty much cut a promo about like, how dare you blame us for telling our friend Big E to stay at home. More heat put on them. Out came the LWO. Dragon Lee. It's because there's no Rey Mysterio. He's on vacation. Dragon Lee decided to cut a promo and said, "You will pay for what you did to Rey Mysterio." And this just led to an LWO and New Day brawl. And yeah, it seems like this is a filler feud until they figure out like what they want to do for the tag team titles at the Raw, for WrestleMania. So that's where we're at with that. I didn't find that this segment was needed. Steve is back on his phone. Steve, what happened? Computer crashed?
Yeah, it looked like he did. So
Hey,
here we are. You hear me?
I thought my internet went out for a second. I was giving this long, passionate why Roxanne could win the Rumble, but yeah. So, what did you think of that New Day LWO?
It was just there, honestly, man. Look, we know Ray isn't around. I don't know when he'll probably return sometime in a couple of weeks. And from the looks of it, while I'm looking at a New Day versus LWO program happening at well, it won't be Chamber, obviously, but WrestleMania, and we might get a Big E appearance, and you know, that's probably what we're gonna get out of it. But there you go.
Do you think WWE finally going to give Charlotte the main event after how outspoken she was during Mania 39? Not this year's CPZ, just because, like, I'm sorry, you can't trust Tiffany Stratton in a main event right now. Stratton is not ready for that WrestleMania main event. You got to put on a 25-minute classic with Charlotte Flair, and Charlotte's going to be pissed if she can't keep up with her. So it's just going to be like, yeah, you can't do that right now. I know the Rumble has passed, but it was disappointing that Penta and Braun Breaker didn't interact much in the match, minus the tease on Raw that same week. Yeah, sometimes less is more. That's how it is. I mean, Jacob Fatu and Braun Breaker avoided each other that whole match. Like, they didn't even touch each other. Like, they just looked at each other and then kind of were in corners where they couldn't even touch each other. The New Day heel turn has been okay, but it needs a Big E return or something. Well, could happen at WrestleMania. Who knows? Probably one of the things people will be excited for. This leads us to the main event of the evening: Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins. Winner goes on to take the final spot of the WWE Elimination Chamber, where the winner of that match will face Cody Rhodes. Seth and Finn, as we all know, always great, tremendous chemistry. Like, they just go out there, they wrestle. Fantastic Raw main event. What you want in a TV main event. But even though this match was fantastic, the people in Charlotte did not find it as fantastic, as they were kind of into the match after the first commercial break. We thought the Wyatt Six were coming out because there was a lot of fireflies going on with the lights, barely reacting to anything. So, like, you could tell Seth, it was bugging him. He was trying, like, normally he does the "come on, guys," like once during a match to get them up. He was doing it 2-3 times because he was frustrated that these fans were just
I
disrespecting. But
literally thought though they were doing the whoa with the light. That's what I thought. That's what
no,
I thought I heard from on the audio, but from the looks of it, no, not quite.
nope, they were bored out of their minds. These fans, because they knew what the result was. That Finn, he's so used to getting pinned, he was just like, I might not kick out of this pedigree, but he kicked out at the last second. That got the fans kind of back into the match. Seth Rollins won. The fans were like, yeah, okay. Like, they were like, give us Cody in the dark match. Come on, we're ready for Cody. Like, they were not.
Oh,
They were just like, yeah, that's cool, Seth Rollins. Because once again, when you have a match that's very predictable, it's hard, even if you are a viewer there live, to get into the match. And we've seen in Seth and Finn wrestle so much. And besides, like, early on in their careers, Finn has gotten the upper hand on Seth. But recently, it's been Seth Rollins has beaten Finn Balor. And Finn Balor, his odds of him winning this was like whatever. Like, the only way I feel like the crowd would have gotten back into this match is if Roman Reigns' music hit and Seth got costed the match by Roman Reigns. But you're not going to have Seth Rollins not at Elimination Chamber. So there you have it. Seth Rollins is the final person in the men's Elimination Chamber. He will be with John Cena, CM Punk, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, Steve's favorite Logan Paul.
That's right, baby.
In which should be a fantastic match between these 6 said individuals. But yeah, it's what happens when you just have a match too much, or if it's just like such a predictable outcome, fans are going to be bored. And even though these two went out there and killed it, the fans kind of took me out of this match, to be honest. But it was fantastic. Like, if you just watch the match and you don't look at it at the fans and the lights being distracting, it is a fantastic match. But I've seen many UFC fights, and when the fans do that light thing, that means they find the fight really boring, or they find something really boring. So they must have been bored, they must have been bored in this arena for this Seth Rollins and Finn Balor match. Steve, any thoughts?
I mean, like, look, when they go out there, you know they're gonna deliver, no doubt about it. And for whatever reason, the fans just didn't seem into this. But like you said, you knew going into this when the match was announced, like, yeah, we know who's winning this.
Yeah.
They're gonna put on a classic, don't get me wrong, or play the hits, whatever it may be, but you know who's going over. But yeah, no surprise there.
Yep, no surprise there. Finn Balor should bring back the Demon. He has no real character, no more even as a heel. Bringing back the Demon is just so redundant for Finn. He actually just needs an actual character development. Like, he just needs to get out of whatever he's doing with Judgment Day. He just needs a better character development. It's not just putting paint on him. It's just they got to do something with his character. I love the ref you suck chant after they botched 3 count. I mean, it was on Finn. He should have kicked out. It wasn't on the ref. Steve is supporting Logan Paul in the best way by drinking Prime. Come
That's
on,
right,
like,
baby. The best Gatorade, Celsius. Nah, man. It's all about the damn it. You get the idea, okay? You get what I mean. Prime, okay?
Yeah, it's about Prime, man. Come on, Logan Paul, get him a sponsorship.
I'm even listening to Impulsive. By the way, guys, whenever you get a chance, once this is over with, go listen to the latest episode of Impulsive. Logan Paul, the great Logan Paul, interviewing Michael Cole, future Hall of Famer.
Wow.
Yes. Well, by the way,
I did listen to it.
He signed a new deal, 8 years, something like that. So good for him, man. And good to know someone can step in when people want to, cancel at the last second, like Tiffany Stratton. Like I said earlier, I hope Charlotte Flair picks up after she hits that bootleg moonsault ever that she calls it pretty, but it's not. You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Christopher Kerr says Roxanne Perez. All right, exactly. Steve, what did you overall think of this episode of Raw?
Overall, I thought the show, again, was an average show. You know what I mean? But I'll probably give this a 6.5 going into a 7 for an episode.
Monday Night Raw. Here. 6.5 out of 10. Good matches. Like, the matches were good. It was just these matches didn't have like any unpredictable results. I guess you could say Dakota Kai beating Ivy Niles unpredictable, but that match was the worst out of all the matches that were on the card last night. And storyline wise, it didn't really drive too much towards Chamber, and it didn't really drive towards much to WrestleMania. Next week on Raw, Intercontinental title match, rematch from the inaugural Intercontinental title match. Lyra Valkyria defends against Dakota Kai. And the Raw Women's Tag Team Championships as Bianca Belair and Naomi. Jade Cargill may make an appearance. Defend the Women's Tag Team Championships against Liv Morgan and Raquel, representing the Judgment Day. So that's on the docket for next week. The Go Home Show, the last show before the March 1st Elimination Chambers. You guys have hope for next week's Go Home Show? Triple H, he loves to coast these Go Home shows. So not really the biggest hope in the world. It might be a Coast Home show. We got a coasting show. We got to find a clever name for these Go Home shows for Triple H, because he loves coasting. He loves coasting them and stuff. So we can stay on for a few bit if you guys have any questions and stuff while you guys get some questions going in.
Well, I try to get back into my computer.
We got Triple H WWID account on X /Twitter. Put on the soon eyeball emojis, and And then it was really revealed that new title belts have been introduced, the WWE ID Championships. If you guys are confused what WWE ID is, just like NIL, so WWE has the NIL program for the college kids, but for the independent wrestlers, they have WWE ID, which is, their independent development program. It's for independent wrestlers, the guys that are not in NIL, to get a chance to hopefully make it to the next level of the World Wrestling Entertainment. There's a lot of WWID schools, but now they're introducing these WWID belts. A lot of different opinions about these belts. A lot of people love them. A lot of people hate them. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's WWE once again trying to take over." I think it's cool for the kids that do sign to the WWID program. I look at it as someone that if you are someone that is lucky enough to get signed to WWID, it's a good chance for you. Business wise, how does this affect WWE as a whole? It doesn't really affect. I mean, all these are just merchandise tools at the end of the day, so that way they can suck belt collectors dry of all their money. Like, that's pretty much what these belts are. They're for the sickos that love collecting the belts and stuff, but they're solid championships. Nothing really too crazy, but I don't know how much this helps independent shows. Like, if you book this, like if you say like, oh yeah, here's the WWID champion. So yeah, but good for the kids that are in the WWID. It gives them an opportunity to, put that they're a former WWE champion under their banner and under their resume. So I think that's pretty cool. But other than that, I don't know how this helps independent wrestling as a whole. Probably doesn't really do much for independent wrestling, but yeah, people they reacted so much. The NXT UK Championship got brought up to it. Yeah, so it is what it is. So
I agree. I think it is at this point. It is what it is. Look, if you're an independent promoter that is affiliated with the ID program, hey, look, you can say, hey, look, we have a WWE title match on our show tonight,
that's true.
and increase ticket sales, right? Um, and whatnot. And also, like you said before, too, these belt collectors get their, fork over some money for that title belt. And, it's not a bad looking belt, I must say. It's
Yeah,
not a
it
bad looking.
reminds me of the UK Championship. Like, I think it's cool for those that are in the ID program that like get the chance to add that they've won a WWE title and get an opportunity, especially if their goal is WWE. Like, I think it's cool for them. Is it cool for like everything else going on in wrestling? I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's just like one of those where it's like I can't really tell you how much this helps like a local independent show just because you have the WWID belt. It helps the wrestlers wrestling on the end. It helps the wrestlers that are in WWID and can win that title, yes. But I don't know how this
Yeah.
helps any local independents or independent wrestling shows, in my personal opinion. Roxanne Perez is still going to be on NXT until after WrestleMania 41, most likely. You guys think Triple H is playing it safe until the WrestleMania European tour for WrestleMania season? It could very well be
Probably so.
that's
Yeah.
what he's doing, but I'm not going to say like 100%. I think that Triple H is kind of like he realizes that, oh, I got this chamber show. Like Triple H, he's very like he doesn't want to overload the fans because like Triple H, he doesn't think we're stupid, but he doesn't think we're smart enough to know like when a lot of different things are going on at once. So he doesn't want to over capacitate our brains and stuff and make it seem like, oh wow, we're already at WrestleMania and Elimination Chamber. Like he wants Elimination Chamber to still feel somewhat important, but he doesn't want it where it's like we're overthinking what's going to happen at WrestleMania. But yeah, it just depends. We know it will eventually get Jacob Batu versus Braun Breaker, but who will be the face and who will be the heel? Doesn't really matter at this point. Our wrestling's getting more and more sensitive to the IWC. Well, I think they're becoming more reactive to what fans are saying and stuff. Like I always tell people, wrestlers are like the biggest hypocrites. They'll come on and they'll trash like restaurants and airplane services for their mistakes, but the minute you trash them, oh no, you can't trash me. It's like that's just how it is. Like they're just a little bit more sensitive when it comes to that, which is funny because so you're telling me you can go on and you can complain about Delta fucking up your bags, but the minute I complain about your match, it's a bad sign. It's not what we need and stuff like that. Here's a horrible image that hopefully you guys will never have to see ever again. 2 Steves in one stream. This is ridiculous. Oh, it's making me sick. Let's just remove him already.
There you go. We're back.
Yeah, let's flip it around so Steve can be back in his little corner that he likes. But yeah, I just find it funny that wrestlers are just super sensitive over stuff where it's just like, hey man, like
you get like you get paid by promoters, what have you, to be, tough people, like a tough man, individual, in character wise, right? Like you can't be so thin skinned, especially what a user, let's say less than 100 Twitter followers with a Alexa Bliss Twitter profile or a random anime profile picture says about you.
Oh yeah,
And
that's why I have the rule on X. If I don't know you, see, you're echoing, by the way. If I don't know you, yeah, I can hear myself. Yeah, but if I don't know you, or like you, like if I don't know you as a person that I'm interacting with, or like you have a picture of not yourself, or you have an anime or a wrestler as your profile pic, I'm not going to debate with you. I'm not even going to entertain you, because you are afraid to show your face. You're afraid to go to be safe behind the keyboard where you can type up and Google all your facts. That's why I always tell these wrestling fans, hey, you want to debate me? Come on one of these videos. We can debate, because you won't have time to Google and everything like that. We can talk. We can talk right here. Show that you're not afraid to show your face on camera. That you can talk on camera. That's just how it is. That's why when Bully Ray comes, if Bully Ray does have a table set up, bro, I'll debate you. Yeah, I can hear you just fine. I just muted you because it was for the echo. But yeah, man, Brett. Yeah.
But I agree too. Like again, I wish again fans will be more open to a debate, to an open discussion. There's no. See, you gotta wipe those gigs off the PC, bro. Too much freaky. Nah, none of that freaky stuff here.
Yeah, dude. Yo, all your hentai. You guys think those episodes of Raw and SC in Europe going to be live or normal tape delay? They're not going to be live.
I thought, because they're on Netflix now, I think what's going to happen is it's going to air live on Netflix while it happens. So for all we know, for us, like for me here on the East Coast, I'm looking at 3 p.m. Raws. Chase is looking at 12 p.m. Monday Night Raws, over on the West Coast. So it's good for us. Like, we get to watch it live as it happens and then have the rest of your Monday to yourself, whatever you want to do. Or if not, you maybe the tradition in you is, no, I have to watch at 8 p.m. because darn it, that's what I know. And, be that as it may. But I'm happy for them. Bro, they're going to go to Europe. We're going to hear that crowd before we hear them in April. But what else here? Cora Jade's been in NXT since 2021, and a few of the female talent that were there at the same time have been on the on the main roster. Crazy. Will the final boss appear before Mania?
No.
See, easy. I'm currently watching WCW Bash at the Beach 1995. Why did WCW give Paul Orndorff a shot at the TV title? Wrestling fans must have hated the Renegade back in the day. Oh God! All right, so basically,
Chat's DPT.
So Friday, I was in the zone. Let's put it that way. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just watch an old school pay-per-view. And I decided to just put on a Bash at the Beach in 1995, right? Just the idea of they're at a fucking beach doing a fucking pay-per-view in Huntington Beach, California, by the way. Like, who thought of that idea? Who thought of having a pay-per-view at the fucking beach, right? So then I'm talking to the boys in the group chat, and I'm having all this proper grammar, this proper punctuations and shit. And they're like, this isn't Steve. What the hell is this? And, stuff like that. You were on the I was on the not that the zone. I was on a different you know what I mean. But be that as it may, yeah, that happened. So that's a callback to this, basically. What in the AI was that by Romeo? But you guys have more questions for us? Feel free to drop in your questions. In case you guys have not checked out, yesterday, Steve's Kitchen from yesterday, where I basically talked about everything that went down on both WWE Vengeance Day and AEW's Grand Slam Australia, and my thoughts on the debut of, we don't know his name yet, on NXT last Tuesday. He's supposed to sign his contract tonight on NXT. Chase, your thoughts on that, brother?
It's exciting. We don't know his name, so we're just gonna call him Absolute at this point. But yeah, man, I it's cool. It's crazy how quick it went, but they probably didn't have all the details ironed out.
The Revolution will be televised. Just can't wait for that one. So there's that. What else we can throw here? So is Ricky Starks keeping his name in NXT, or are they going to give him a jobber name? Look, they can do whatever they want, but I will say this: if Sean Spears kept his name, right? If Ethan Page kept his name, if Jade Cargill kept her name, if Jordan Grace kept her name, even though she didn't go to AEW. I don't see hell. Even Cody kept his name. CM Punk kept his name. I don't see why not. Why can't he keep his name? I think like Chase said, and I think other people said too. There's again the signing happens so fast that there's still legal process that needs to be done when it comes to like the fact that Ricky owns his name. So yeah, look, I think also him going to NXT. I said this yesterday on Steve's Kitchen. He can be the guy at NXT. He can be the guy. So let him be the guy there. I think it's a great move. And like I said, also, they are, again, look, in a couple of weeks from now, well, in a few months, it'll be Stand and Deliver. And the way the brand is right now, with the talent that they have, they're going to stack that card, Chase. They are going to stack Stand and Deliver. We may see the show of WrestleMania weekend. For sure.
Yeah, could get some TNA matches in there and stuff. I think that TNA's in town, obviously, for their own pay-per-view PLE type of show with Unbreakable. But I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to get some TNA matches on there, stack that show up, give us like 8 matches that morning, before night 1 of WrestleMania. So yeah,
for sure. Where do you guys see Punk for WrestleMania? I would say. See, I would say Logan Paul, right? But it looks like they might do.
I'm on the Punk versus Cody train. I think they're going to do Punk versus
Cody.
I think they just like they're looking at Cena and it's like, yeah, dude, no, we can't. We cannot trust Cena to do a 20-25 minute match with Cody at WrestleMania. We could trust Punk, and we owe Punk a main event match at WrestleMania. So yeah. Let's do Punk and Cody. That's a good marquee match. Good poster. Sure, it's no Cena going for the 17th title, but
it's happening though. That 17th is happening. I just think people need to be patient for it. That's my opinion on it. Weston writes here: is Santino a Hall of Famer? Nope. Santino Marella? Nope.
Well, it doesn't matter at this point. Coco Beware is in the Hall of Fame. So, yeah, Santino's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, for sure. He'll be one day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am looking at an empty bottle of Prime here. And that means that we're out of time. I'm going to wrap things up here, put a bow on this. Much love to all of you. Much love to each and every single one of you out there who tuned in today. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up. Look, I had a computer issue, but here we are again. We're back. All right. I mentioned this moments ago. If you have not checked out last night's episode of Steve's Kitchen, go give it a watch. Where I talked about both Vengeance Day and Grand Slam. My thoughts on Ricky Starks signing, we don't know his name yet, joining NXT. I also gave thoughts on the latest induction into the WWE Hall of Fame in Michelle McCool, and my thoughts on Josh Alexander likely going to AEW. And stuff like that. All right. So if you have not, give that a watch. Go give it a watch. Tomorrow, it will be the live watch party of SAD. Something about Dynamite. We'll be watching AEW Dynamite here on the channel. And if you are a channel member, you get to join us live on the air and watch Dynamite with us. All right. And this Thursday, it is ATP for the culture. For the culture. The card booked by CPZ. Some are suggesting he is the Armor King. I don't know who told you guys that, but CPZ's booking the show. It should be a good show as we are on the road to Gangamania. All right. So that's going to be it for us. Follow the Around the Point Network over on X at AT Point Network. Follow me on X at Heel Steven. Chase, let them know where can they check you out.
Yeah, just follow me on X at ChaseOver68.
There you go. That's going to be it for us, guys. Thank you all for watching. And again, next week on Raw, Lara Valkyria versus Dakota Kai for the Intercontinental Championship in the rematch of the finale. Their inaugural women's Intercontinental title match tournament. And of course, we have Bianca Belair and Naomi defending the women's tag team titles against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. Much love to each and every single one of you. For myself, for Chase, and for all of you, the gang, this has been the Raw Rundown here on the Around the Point Network. Peace out, everybody.